Professor Griff. Y'all already know that, should know that. I want to welcome everyone in. All right, this is the fourth time I'm doing this class. And this is definitely exciting to me. I'm gonna press the. All right. Once again, it's Professor Griff, and of course, this is Serious Minds giving this emergency preparedness class for the fourth time. This is the fourth one I'm doing. The actual first one was not even online. It was offline in the woods somewhere, but we won't talk about that for right now. All right. But I want to thank y'all very much for seeing the need for this kind of conversation to happen, for this kind of class to happen, simply because one part of me is saying that the people that tune into the vibratory frequency on what I want to offer, we're already there. A lot of people are just not, and those people that are not, some of y'all would agree with me, and some of y'all would probably wholeheartedly disagree with me. Some of us are being forced into these kind of classes because of the climate, what's going on in the world, and then that insight that I know some of y'all have, and what y'all seeing coming down the pipe. I'm not sure if any of y'all guys don't see it. I see it clear. It is clear as day for me. I see what's coming, and I just said to myself, okay, rather than me sitting back, let me kind of put the information out there to prepare people for what I see coming. What I put out there, if no one takes it and uses it and incorporates that into their and how they move every single day, that is truly not up to Professor Griff. I came up at a time where we was responsible for everyone that we met. And we used to say, well, at least those individuals' blood is off our hands. We've done our job. And that's all we can do. But it's your duty and responsibility to take this information and pass it on to 3 other people. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna dive into this. Let me see if I can open up the chat. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna dive into this real quick because it's a lot that I have to kind of put out there. And what I'm going to do over the next few days is I'm going to prepare a few lists. All right. Now, if I put something on the screen and you can screenshot it, by all means, do that. I cannot take the whole presentation and send it out to everyone. That's just a whole lot of work. So if you can take as many notes as you can, that's a beautiful thing. Now, what I tend to do is, with the help of my man, y'all see over here, Johnny Taylor, a little goddess that's on here, a few other people, is we prepare the information prior to me giving it. So what everyone should have gotten, and if you didn't get it, I'll send it out to you. You should have gotten at least 10 links. A PDF of the Survival Bible, and an idea of what we're going to discuss today. So everyone should have gotten that. Last but not least, before I dive into this, is I want to be able from this day forward to help us change not the way, kind of like the methodology in which we kind of give these talks. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I hope no one gets insulted by this next comment. We all have groups of friends. They call them circle of friends. And that's a whole deep, symbolic, esoteric thing. We'll talk about that later. So in some of the circles that I'm in, them other people that don't look like us, they already been talking about this. So unless you already know what's going on over there, and you want some Harriet Tubman type shilsnit, and you're going to bring it back to us and share it with us, then what good is it? You understand what I'm saying? I may know. Johnny might know. And a few other people on here might know. Charlie might know. But if the masses of our people don't know, you understand what I'm saying? Then what good is it? Let me tell you something. Them people over there, they know. So I'm the quiet little black guy in the back that ain't saying shit. Matter of fact, I ain't that goddamn quiet, but I'm saying to y'all, most of them are like, dude, fucking for Public Enemy, dude. I seen you guys. Y'all was rocking out at it. Yeah, okay, cool. You understand what I'm saying? But let me get this information. All right. So I'm going to move quick. Give me a minute. to prepare the information to send back out to you guys, so you'll have it condensed in a list that you can kind of do a checklist. So whatever you can get tonight as far as um, um, documenting some things, by all means. All right. So let me do it like this here. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I still gotta. Hold on. I still gotta address this person that still didn't get the link. But let me start the first clip off. All right. Let me see. Yep.
What if the world as we know it suddenly changes? A situation where the usual conveniences and securities are no longer available. This is what survivalists refer to as a SHTF, or stuff hits the fan event. Today, we delve into how preparedness can be the difference between survival and disaster. Firstly, knowledge is power. Understanding potential SHTF scenarios, from natural disasters to man-made catastrophes, is the first step. It's not about fear, but about facing the possibilities with a clear head. Knowing what could happen allows for better planning. Secondly, plan ahead. A good survival plan includes knowing where to go, how to get there, and what to do once there. It's about considering all possible scenarios and having a plan for each. Think about the essentials: food, water, shelter, and safety. Each plan should be flexible, understanding that circumstances can change rapidly. Next, equip yourself with the right tools and supplies. This includes emergency food and water, medical supplies, clothing, shelter materials, and survival tools. Remember, it's not about having the most expensive equipment, but the right equipment. And knowing how to use it is just as important as having it. Now, on to skills. Basic survival skills can mean the difference between life and death. These include first aid, fire starting, navigation, hunting and foraging, and shelter building. But there's also the often overlooked mental and emotional resilience. It's about staying calm, rational, and focused in high-stress situations. Lastly, community. In a SHTF event, having a network of trusted individuals can provide mutual support and aid. It's about fostering relationships and building a community that can work together to overcome challenges. To summarize, preparation for a SHTF event involves understanding potential scenarios, planning ahead, equipping with the right tools and supplies, honing survival skills, and building a supportive community. Remember, preparedness is not a destination, but a journey. It's about constant learning, adaptation, and growth. In the end, the aim is not just to survive, but to thrive. Because when stuff hits the fan, the most important thing is not what's in the backpack, but what's in the mind and heart. So stay prepared, stay knowledgeable, and stay resilient.
All right. I hope you guys was
During or after an unforeseen disaster,
Hold on
you may be forced, due to factors beyond your control, to leave your home. And we've seen fire sweep into communities, giving residents literally a few minutes to leave before their homes were burned down. And we've witnessed the impact of war, forcing people to flee, regardless of the circumstance.
All right. And I hope you was able to pull something from that. I know when I first saw it, um, I was able to kind of take my time, going back a few times to understand that we don't readily understand that there are black preppers out there. Some may be on here right now. But anyway, there are people out there that do participate in prepping. All right. So they're not only the other people on the other side of the fence. All right. There are black preppers, there are black prepping groups that are out there. At the end of this, I'll give you one that they're online and they actually coach people into preparing. All right. So let's dive into this. Hold on one second. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. Did everyone get the actual survival Bible? Anyone get the survival Bible? Show of hands. Yes, one person. Anyone else get it?
No.
No. All right.
No.
All right.
I had trouble downloading the Bible.
All right. I'll get that
I'm
out.
checking now.
I'll get that out to everyone.
I got it.
Okay. Some people got it. Some people didn't. I'll make sure I get that out.
I got it, but I having problems downloading it.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
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 All right. Cool. All right. How many people have heard of the movie Night of the Living Dead?
Yes.
Yes.
Night of the Living Dead was a movie that came out when I was growing up, and because I was young, little, it scared the hell out of me. That the whole idea that electrical charge can hit the earth and people coming up out of the grave to attack the living. That was the concept of the movie. And the one that was saving and protecting everyone and knew exactly what to do with the brother. You understand what I'm saying? So much so, fast forward, and today they give us this idea of the living, of the Walking Dead. All right. So I just said to myself when I first started putting this together, I said, well, the idea of the language that we use in reference to some of the people that we see walking all times of the day and night, they like zombies. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know what's going on. Well, when I look at the people that don't look like the individuals that you see on my screen, I say, well, they don't know what's going on either. What's their excuse? They wake up and go to a 9 to 5. You understand what I'm saying? Or 3 to 12, 3 to 11 or whatever, or working a night shift. So I just said to myself, if this thing actually happened, how many people are actually prepared to shelter in place, defend themselves? So we had that whole idea of the shelter in place thing a few years ago, which none of us was readily prepared for it. I know I wasn't, because I was in a whole different state. So when it hit and they started canceling all of the flights, I had to make my way back to Atlanta. But I've grown to know and understand that this is a real live possibility that this thing can happen. So in this class tonight, we're going to talk about the whole idea of survival essentials. You should have gotten this in your email. You don't need to screenshot this or write anything down. Building a go bag, securing food, water, and shelter, and creating a sustainable plan for long-term emergencies. But you can write this down, what I'm about to say. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. That's number one. If you don't have a plan, that's almost like in my warrior class, in my firearms class, I teach that how's a warrior going to begin to sharpen his sword when you get on the battlefield? No, you have to have it already sharp before you enter the battle, right or wrong.
Right.
Everyone has to have a plan. Next, emergency communication. How are you going to communicate? You understand? What, you going to put your cape on and stick out your chest and brag about how you got 2 cell phones? That ain't going to work. When the grid go down, ATM machines are not going to work and cell phones are not going to work, fam. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Self-defense tactics. Please, I don't mean this to insult any one of you that I know and I don't know. You thinking because you have to walk up 2 flights of stairs to get to your apartment every day that's working out? Absolutely not. If you got a cat, dog, you live with grandma, and you care for a baby or children, you have to not only get yourself out with a backpack on, you got to get the baby out and grandma, and that's some work. So I'm saying to you, you have to be in shape. Then God forbid if you have to defend yourself from anyone that's trying to take what you have as far as your goods, your firearm, your car, your transportation, your bike, or whatever, that poses another problem. All right, so the practical techniques to protect yourself and your loved ones during a chaotic situation. All right, you have to know some self-defense. All right. Out of all of these, this is the probably most important one. Disaster psychology. Psychology, the study of the psyche. You have to be prepared mentally, because when it go down, it's going to go down. All right. You have to pretty much have it together mentally and spiritually when it go down. All right. So the whole idea of disaster psychology, managing fear, stress, and decision-making under pressure. All right. Black people, we've been doing that ever since we've been on the planet. Handling that kind of managing fear and stress, especially living in America. Anyway, the next is first aid and medical skills. All right, I'm not talking about KT, Man, Twan, and them scratching their finger or getting a little minor cut where you just open up the Band-Aid pack and putting a Band-Aid on and some antiseptic. No, something a lot deeper than that. I'm talking about grandma passing out and you have to bring her back to life kind of situations. You have to support a broken leg, or you forgot to pack the asthma medicine, the inhalers for your uncle or your auntie or yours. All right, so the whole idea of first aid and medical skills, administering life-saving treatments in situations where professional help isn't immediately available. So right now, keep in mind, we're going to move as though there's no help coming. All right? You heard about the people in the wildfires in California. All right? Some of them people had to go and hire private companies to come put out the damn fire at their house. So let's stop thinking there's always someone on the other end of that 911 call. We have to move like no one is going to come and save you. No one's coming to save me. I got to do this on my own. All right? Last but not least, the urban and rural survival strategies. It is a difference whether or not if you live in Brooklyn as opposed to you living on Long Island. It's a difference if you live downtown Atlanta as opposed to you live in Lithia Springs somewhere, or Decatur, or Stone Mountain. It's a difference. I can't say that about Chicago and Detroit. Well, I can. If you live in Hyde Park as opposed to living downtown Chicago, there's a big difference in survival, how you want to move. In an herbal, put your microphones on mute for me, fam. There's a difference in how you move. All right? There's a difference in how you have to move. You might not have to deal with so much traffic if you live out in the suburbs as opposed to having to maneuver in a downtown kind of urban kind of environment. All right? This interactive class combines hands-on training, real-world scenarios, expert guidance to empower you with the necessary tools that you're going to need in order to navigate these natural and very unnatural situations. One of the brothers that I'm in touch with is this brother right here. He has book 2 coming out. This is book 1. I would advise you, if you can get this book, get this book. The brother wrote it from our perspective. All right? Now, I would suggest from the rip that if we're going to plan to bug in or bug out, to prepare to do that for at least 72 hours. All right, so start thinking in mind right now. If you have a medical condition, do you have enough medicine to stay in the house for 2 hours? Do you have enough candles to have light in case the lights go out? Do you have enough water? Do you have enough food? We're talking 72 hours now. Let's keep that number in mind. Water quality control and storage, emergency shelter, power, lighting and heating, emergency transportation, communication, and evacuation in case they say it's a disaster and you got to get out of the building you living in, or you got to get out of the townhome, or you gotta abandon your home that you're in because it's a chemical spill, which already happened in Atlanta. At the same time, 100 monkeys got loose somewhere and they don't know where the goddamn monkeys are. No, I'm dead serious. So when these things go down, you got to say to yourself, okay, code black, let me hit the switch and set this thing in motion and shelter in. Chemical and bio warfare and nuclear preparedness, defense against infectious diseases, personal defense and crime prevention. All of that is in this particular book right here. His name is Anton Edwards. All right, very good brother. I spoke with him months ago, and we're going to do some classes together when his new book drops. All right, the more prepared you are for emergencies, the less stressful they become. The more prepared you are for emergencies, the less stressful they become. Can I give you a prime example of that? How many of y'all sat and watched TV or looked on your cell phone at all of the people that end up in fucking fights at damn Costco's and BJ's, fighting over toilet tissue at Walmart and Targets? You don't want to be one of those individuals. We talking about something as simple as wiping your... Anyway, I'm just saying to y'all, are you following what I'm saying? Fighting over toilet tissue, you don't want to be one of them kind of individuals. In the black community, we say if you ain't ready, you got to get ready. But if you're ready, you ain't got to get ready. You understand what I'm saying? All right. The idea of an emergency is a serious, unexpected, and often dangerous situation requiring what? Immediate action. Requiring immediate action. If you do not have a plan, regardless of whether you act immediately or an hour later, nonetheless, that is absolutely too late. It is absolutely too late. All right? When it comes to an emergency, survival, the state or fact of continuing to live or exist. Survival is not only getting past the first 72 hours. What are you going to do after that? How are you going to exist? How are you going to live? Most of our lives have already changed since the pandemic. Am I right or wrong? And it's taken us a while to adjust to the way we have to live. And y'all already know Hawaii, California, North Carolina, these places, these things that happen in those places was no accident. Y'all already know. All right? What you should be thinking is, hell, if they would do that to their own and to them, yeah, y'all can finish that sentence. Anyway, preparedness, a state or readiness, especially for war. All right? To be prepared. All right? So we need 3 lists that we need to kind of focus on when we talk about being prepared. You need the individual list, because if you was in the situation I was in when the pandemic happened, I had to get home. How do you get home when they're canceling flights? Won't let you on the bus. The Chinese bus, I don't know if y'all been on the Chinese bus going from DC to New York or something. The Chinese bus wasn't even running. You understand what I'm saying? And don't tell me your ass going to Uber from New York to Virginia. All right, so you need a plan for you. Then we need a family plan. Then we're going to need a group plan. All right? How many people remember a disaster that hit New Orleans? Katrina and some other disasters that happened. And then I think Hurricane Harvey and Irma, I think, hit Houston, I think. Our people were not prepared. I know people that was in both situations. They were not prepared. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to act like not when, not if, but when it's going to happen, wherever you live. All right? Literally in New Orleans, there was caskets floating down the street. Now, can you handle that? Disaster psychology? Can you keep your emotions intact? If your grandma's casket is coming down Bourbon Street or Canal Street? So let's understand the dynamic and the mindset that we have to be in in order to survive. All right. You saw what BlackRock and other companies were doing in Hurricane Katrina, literally taking people out of here. You understand what I'm saying? We were looting, they were surviving. That kind of mentality. Having to sleep in the Superdome for a few days. All right. We have to have our minds prepared for those kind of particular scenarios. All right. So when you're faced with a natural or man-made emergency, try to stay informed through radio, television, the internet. In some cases, however, those cell phones and electricity and all that kind of stuff is going to get cut off. We have to develop a plan where it includes not only yourself, but your family communication plan. So have an overall plan, have a communication plan. All right. So we're going to work on the concept of the 72-hour bug in and bug out when the shit hits the fan. All right. All right, let's talk about self-defense. All right. The least that we should be able to do is walk a mile. All right. And if you can, I'm 64 years old. So I should be able to carry half my body weight. I should be able to do at least half my age in push-ups and in sit-ups. All right. And probably half of that in burpees and some other exercise. All right. So you look at your own condition, because I'm not sure what medication you're on, what your living or your diet is. But take your age, cut it in half, then cut it in half again. All right. Other than the 2 goddamn karate classes and the Taibo class that you took and the Pilates class that you took, how much self-defense do you know? And I'm not being funny. All right. You have to know, listen, you don't have to get a black belt in a certain style. You have to know basic stuff. Just basic stuff. You follow what I'm saying? But you have to have some kind of conditioning. You have to have some kind of conditioning. All right. Physical fitness. What do you think you can do in different kind of situations? You understand what I'm saying? You have to be physically fit to do those things. Then after you win the battle, the short battle, you still got to put your backpack on, pick up your weapon, and keep pushing. All right. It's not only surviving those 72 hours, but what if you have grandma and the baby and the dog and you got a medical condition? All right. You have to take these things into consideration. All right. We have to build our strength and build our endurance. All right. So self-defense training. All right. This idea of using weaponry. I don't care if it's a stick, a knife, or whatever it is. All right. You have to be able to be proficient with hand-to-hand combat, at least a small degree of it, some grappling techniques, all right, and then have the strength and the endurance to kind of defend yourself, and some kind of self-defense weapon. Because trust me, when the grid goes down and these dudes lock up like you already see them coming in packs, they're coming with weapons. They're looking for money, food, jewelry, things that they can steal and trade and barter with. All right, some of those things we're going to discuss in a minute. Operational security, creating good habits. All right. I teach this in my self-defense and firearms class. Keeping your head on a swivel. Always knowing your surroundings. Situational awareness. All right. Knowing where you are. Knowing who your allies are. Knowing if you live in an apartment complex and you live in 2E, knowing that you got somebody above you and on the first floor that you can lock up with. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody that you can call. All right. I had to learn that recently. Just moving into a new neighborhood, not really knowing the neighbors, but I had a package that came and I'm out of town. I got to be able to say, yo, Doug, do me a favor, man. I know I don't want to inconvenience you, but can you go snatch that package off my front porch? Because these cats are driving around stealing packages like it ain't nothing. Like I don't have a camera out there. You understand what I'm saying? One dude even waved to the camera. I thought he said my damn name. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, you understand? They're getting that bold, fam. All right, so know your neighbors. At least the 3 that you can count on. All right? Listen, The days of you going next door to borrow a cup of sugar, them days are out. Don't nobody trust anyone anymore. But if you can build those relationships with neighbors, it's a beautiful thing. If someone asked me if I had to start martial arts over again, which style would I study? I probably would study Muay Thai, Krav Maga, and then I would probably do Wing Chun, close quarter combat. All right. Or the Brazilian art in case you get thrown to the ground. You could do some jujitsu. You understand what I'm saying? And get your way out of those kind of situations. All right, ladies, please look at the screen. If you don't have 3 or more of these items, it's a problem right now as we speak. And not only have them, but know how to, yeah, come on, Linda, lean in. Lean on in. You got it. You understand what I'm saying? You have to know how to use it. I have all of them, but would I grab the brass knuckles? No, I'd probably go for my knife, which I'm proficient at. You understand what I'm saying? When I was growing up, all the young boys had pocket knives. Well, shit, now they got pocket guns. I'm just saying, though, you gotta know how to use one of these weapons, especially ladies. All right. So I would advise all of the women to take a screenshot of the screen right now and use whatever works. All right. Right now, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I got people up here that could bring me that thing. You understand what I'm saying? But if I don't have that, and all I have is this in my pocket, then this has to become my weapon. All right. I ain't on no Born Identity or some James Bond type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just not. But if this is gonna save my life, I'm clicking a bit like a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? For real. For real.
Professor, may I speak to something on this?
Yeah, but I'm moving kind of quick. Hurry up. Come on, Tom.
Just you can turn anything that you have, especially like keys, into your possession, into a weapon. Just make sure that you have that in mind. That's
exactly.
it.
So that everything. Thank you, Charlie. That's everything from the belt that you wear. Mine is kind of fly because I'm one of those two-way dudes. I'm in the two-way community, so mine is kind of fly. It's really, really, really hard. It can't bend, and this is what's on the end of it. You understand what I'm saying? So I can wrap this up, and I'm choking you out in a heartbeat, but you have to know how to do that. You understand what I'm saying? You have to have a plan. I walk the streets of Portland, Oregon. You understand what I'm saying? I have a plan. All right. Anyway, thanks, Charlie. So when the shit hit the fan, we have to at least have in the car, in the bug out bag or the bug in bag, and at home, at least an IFAC, all right, or a first aid kit. All right. So emergency preparedness, you have to have some kind of first aid kit. Let me tell you something, man. I'm not sure. I'm sure y'all have. I'm just speaking for me. I used to compete in competition in martial arts. I took a few L's, took a couple of W's. You understand what I'm saying? Got a couple of trophies. But there's nothing that slowed me down than a stomach ache, a headache, and a toothache. If you're not able to quiet that down, it's a problem. It's a problem. And we're not talking about having a short little battle and then going home and taking an Epsom salt bath. No, the water may not be running. So you're going to have to survive. So you need an emergency preparedness first aid kit. All right. Whether it's a personal one where you're just stopping the bleed. All right. Or it's one for the entire family. All right. Now you can find any of these that I'm showing you on Amazon. If you search around the internet, you can find them real cheap. I messed around. I saw one at Costco's and Sam's Club, which was very, 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 very cheap, and it was really, really good. All right. When you get it, take it and go take a stop the bleed class. I know a few people that give that class. Stop the bleed. You need to learn how to stop the bleed. Get rid of neutralize the headache, neutralize the stomach ache, wrap the bandage up, the sprained ankle, take care of that so you can keep moving. All right? This goes way beyond survival. All right? We have to be able to sustain ourselves. All right? You have to get an emergency first aid kit. I suggest a larger one at home, smaller one in your backpack or your bug out or your bug in bag, and probably one in the car. All right? So when the shit hits the fan, all right, we have to be able to secure our homes, regardless of whether you live in an apartment or a mansion. All right? You have to be able to, home security is important. And the thing that you do not want to do, fam, if the lights go out, you don't want to be the only house on the block with the goddamn lights on. You letting them know that's the spot to go to rob. All right? So they have those curtains that they have in New York City, the blackout curtains in New York City, where they have curtains where they can block out the light, where you can sleep during the day if you have to. All right, home security when they shit at the fan is most important. Any sort of SHTF scenario, your perimeter security options are different from everyone. If you're in an apartment, of course, you may not have to worry about too much. If you live in a townhome, then you probably do. And then if you live in a house, that looks totally different. All right, that looks totally different. Until I got an alarm system, one that I could trust, because I don't allow them people to come to my house and do what they did to P. Diddy, putting the cameras inside the house and they watching the damn cameras, watching you. You understand? So I'm like, no, we won't be doing that. You know them companies that sell you the whole package, they put the alarm system in, they put the cameras in. We're not doing that. So before I got an alarm system put in, I had the sign on the front lawn anyway that said I had one. They don't know. You understand what I'm saying? And then I operate like the gray man any old way. You don't know what I have, how I'm moving, because I'm not advertising. Like the dude that went to the damn the Black Friday sale and got 2 flat screen TVs for about $30. Opened his TVs, put them in his house, and took the boxes and put them out there for the garbage man to pick up. And guess who saw him also? The robbery crew saw him also, right? That house has 2 new flat screen TVs, the 85-inch ones, the ones he couldn't even carry by himself. No, we're not going to advertise. We're operating on the gray man methodology. The gray man, we're not even being seen or heard. All right, no one knows what we have. All right, and warning to you brothers that are out there that I see y'all wearing your firearm not concealed out in the store, and these young kids are snatching and running off with your handgun. Stop that, man. Conceal your firearm. You understand? I had a sister in my class. Her hips was bigger than my mama's. I'm like, sis, you already got big thighs and big hips. Why would you wear your gun outside and it's way out here now? You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, no, sis, we're not doing that. I don't care how cute you think you are. All right, let's be reasonable and rational and think real clear, fam, and use some damn common sense. All right? Okay. Home security for today and securing the perimeter. And of course, the outside is important. But now you know the layout of your house. Instruct the family. Yes, my family, we do have a code word and we know what room to meet in if the shit go down. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to do that, but yeah. We go into the room downstairs with no windows. One way in, one way out, and you got to get past me. Well, shit, I shouldn't say that. You got to get past Soleil first because she shoots shit up. She claimed rearranging the furniture. But I'm saying, with 3 black belts in the house, yeah, you got to bring it. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, inside of your home, you know the layout. All right? You know which room to go in. You know how to neutralize the threat. All right? Okay. Be prepared for the CQB, close quarter battles in combat. All right? So if you live in an apartment and it's going to go down in your apartment, that's close quarter contacts, close quarter battles. All right, you're going to be fighting close quarter. All right, so when we get to start using weapons, you don't need a damn 26-inch shotgun way out here if it's close quarter, right? You might need something in here where you can move. You follow what I'm saying? All right, so let's think rational and clear on how we got to move inside the home. Outside the home, it's a different story. We're not worried about them outside the home. We're worried about them breaking in the back door, coming through the garage door, or through the basement. All right, we want to be able to secure ourselves. And then when we have to deal with the close quarter battles in combat, we'll deal with that. It's another book you should get. You can find this at the Book Nook. I found this one for $1. The Survival Handbook. Learning survival skills of the world's elite forces. All right. Johnny Taylor, this book taught me which blanket to buy in order to suffocate a dog that they might sick on you or something. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, I never learned that in the military. So I'm like, okay. One more. The urban survival. It's different, like I said earlier, it's different between surviving in New York City as opposed to surviving out in the suburbs. All right. Okay. All right, so here's a couple of checklists that we need to fill out for everyone. All right. Consider specific needs for your household. All right. Think about you and your household. If you got elderly, people that you live with and babies, if you got pets, all right, think about your household, the different ages of the members in your household. Responsibility for assisting others. Okay, my teenage son has to make sure he get the dogs out, or the teenage daughter got to make sure she get the pets out. My teenage son is gonna help me with grandma. All right, while my wife covered down. You follow what I'm saying? My other daughter got to go make sure she got the car started because we getting up on out of there. All right. Responsibility for assisting others. Delegate responsibility. How you going to move? All right. Locations frequented. Where are we meeting up? At the church, the mosque, the temple. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not sure if the Waffle House or the strip club going to be open, but find a goddamn place to meet up and meet up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, some of y'all didn't find that funny, but I'm trying to tell you, a lot of people don't even know where they're meeting up. Don't have a plan, but put the plan in place. What is your dietary needs? All right. Can you go a day without eating? If you have medical needs that need to be met, and you have to have some food in your stomach because you have to take medication. All right. Some of y'all vegans out there, y'all so damn veganish, you won't eat at the Waffle House for your survival. Fuck that. You will see Professor Griff getting a well-done fucking waffle with some scrambled eggs. I'm going to survive. I don't know about you. Y'all do your thing. I'm going to survive. My ass was stuck in Helsinki. And for some of y'all to looking at me kind of side-eyed and crazy right now, spell Helsinki. And then tell me where it's at on the planet. My ass got stuck in Helsinki on my way to Russia with the rest of the group. Why I get singled out. Talking about I ain't got enough pages in my passport. Mr. Rory, I'm teaching the class right now. I'm gonna have to call you back, all right? Yeah, hit me up tomorrow. I got you. All right, all right. He said I didn't have enough pages in my passport to accommodate a visa for them to stamp it. So they singled me out. So if you single me out, why am I in a detention room handcuffed? That ain't because I ain't got enough pages in my passport. I didn't commit no crime. You follow what I'm saying? Get back to Atlanta. Of course, y'all already know there's a jail, damn near prison up under the airport in Atlanta. I ended up there also, and that's when I got interrogated and they took my passport and the whole bit. Now you talking about 07, 08. All right. So them people will make up some stuff. So Back to my story. I'm in Helsinki. In Helsinki, there's only 2 hours of night time. The rest of the time, the sun is out. So you get 2 hours of sleep. So what I did was I asked the people at the hotel, can I get some extra blankets? I took the blankets, I put them over the window, all right, so I can make the room dark so I could go to sleep. That circadian rhythm kicked in and my body was saying, yo, it's time to go to bed. But I was hungry. I don't know what time the stores open, close, but if I don't read the language, so I'm surviving. My ass was right there at Mickey D's. I bought me a fish sandwich, scraped all that BS off of it, saved the fish sandwich patty, saved the bread, got me some fries, put it back in the bag, threw it in my backpack. I went to a grocery store, got me some vegetables and an orange juice. That was my meal. Had to survive. You understand what I'm saying? Medical needs, including prescription medicine and equipment. You need to know how you're going to move with that. If your grandma and your granddad is on an oxygen tank, how you moving like that? How you moving with that? Come up with the plan, fam. We can do it. Disabilities or access to functional needs, including devices and equipment. Languages spoken. I was in Helsinki. I didn't know no damn body and couldn't speak the language. This is before that software that can translate on your cell phone. This was before that. All right. So I took the tour book, contacted the last promoter, right? He got me a flight back to the last place we were at. I contacted the rest of the guys in Public Enemy in Russia, and I just told them to meet me at the next place we was going to be performing after they left Russia. Hooked back up with them probably 3, 4, 5 days later. All right, cultural and religious considerations. All right, I'm moving in the country that I'm at. I'm moving. I'm not trying to stand out. Although this made me stand out, but I'm just saying I'm not trying to stand out. All right. Okay. Pets or service animals, household, school-age children. We covered that already. I've stressed making a plan 5 times already. Put together a plan by discussing 4 questions with your family, friends, household to start your plan. A, how will I receive emergency alerts and warnings? That's number 1. Number 2, what is my shelter plan? What is my shelter plan? Number 3, what is my evacuation plan? What's my evacuation route? All right. If you live in an apartment complex, how many ways can I get out without jumping the damn fence? All right. And then what is, last but not least, number 4, what is my family household communication plan? All right. When the shit hits the fan, the personal emergency kit. All right. If you are the head of your household, so to speak, all right, the ones, plural, that's the head of my household or me and my wife. All right. We operate the household with my aunt. Truth, balance, justice, reciprocity, and order. I have a role. She has a role. We play our respective roles and they complement one another. Sometimes I got to take up the slack. Sometimes she has to take up the slack. But I know when it goes down, I know exactly what my role is and what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just saying this. If you are a single mom or you out there and you have to cover down, make sure you're the one to get all the documents that you need. All right. Get the passports, get the marriage license, get the IDs. All right. Get the immunization stuff. Get all of the documents you need in a plastic bag, plastic folder. Secure that stuff in the bug out bag. All right. Get the medical card that you need. Get the whatever it is that you need. Make sure you're the one that secure that. I'm just saying to you as a man, and most men on here would agree with me, we ain't thinking about that. We are, but we not. You understand what I'm saying? We trying to fit the damn big ass shotgun in the backpack. We like, bro, that don't fit. It's like, come on, man. We thinking about something else. So we not thinking about that. So help us out, sis. All right. Hold on. This idea of grab and go bags, I called it the black pack. We'll talk about the black pack in a minute. All right. But you have to be able to, number one, carry the bag, sisters. When you prepare your grab and go bag, you have to be able to carry it. And we'll go over what's in it in a minute, but you have to be able to carry it. I want to stress that. All right, because I would show you if I was home, but I'm not home. So I will show you the different size bags that I know people are stuffing these big bags, and then you can't walk up a flight of stairs. All right, we'll talk about that in 1 second. So when the shit hit the fan, we have to still be able to eat. And I am telling you right now, when the sirens go off, family, Target, Walmart, Food Depot, Publix, Costco's, BJ's, help me out if I'm missing a few. If you're in Philly, the Wawa, 7-Eleven, the corner bodega, all that's getting looted. All that's getting looted. After the first 4 hours, there ain't gonna be no food on the shelves. All right, we all know. I know what I hear you thinking. We already know that ramen noodles have no nutritional value. I got you. I got you. But it's best to eat ramen noodles than to eat nothing, right? Get you some vegetables if you can. Crack open one of them cans, warm it up, warm up the ramen noodles, put the vegetables in the ramen noodles, make you a meal. But the thing is, it's to survive. Hearty soup for hard times. You can get this whole pack right here at Costco's or Sam's Club. This is for bugging in, not bugging out. This is for having to stay in for 72, 96 hours in your home. All right? Have a plan. This food lasts up to 25 years. All right? If you have to bug in, take this guy's information down. The Goshen Prepping. This guy is boring, but he is on point. GoshenPrepping.com. He goes over the whole idea of the shelf life for foods, how to rotate the food, how to create you a small pantry, whether it's a closet or one cabinet in your kitchen. All right. Start somewhere. All right. He talks about the whole use of the 6-month supply. Then he goes a little bit longer than that. The use of just having a bag of potatoes can last you. Some dried fruit, crackers. Then he goes to the whole idea of canned condensed meats and vegetables and soups and fruits and juices and ready-to-eat cereals and this kind of thing. All right. He talks about the different uses of jelly and peanut butter and candy and vitamin C. As I travel, I find myself having to buy Noon. Anybody familiar with Noon? The pills that you drop in the water, shake it up in case you get dehydrated. Let me show y'all what it looked like real quick. If y'all can excuse me 1 second. This is Noon for hydration. All right. Even if you're traveling like this, you still have to have a plan. Stuff that can be stored up indefinitely. Like you have to have dry corn, you have to have canned foods, you have to have rice and that kind of thing, providing you can keep it away from them, the mice and the rats, wherever you live. All right. In Anton Edwards' book, Survival Kit, this is one of the lists that you can screenshot this, but this is one of the lists I'm going to send out. In the survival kit, you have to take into consideration food and water. All right. Right now, if you're living with 4 people in the house, those 4 individuals got to drink at least a couple of gallons of water. All right. So you should have enough to last everyone. This says 1 gallon per person per day. All right. Food, non-perishable items. canned juices and soups. All right, powdered milk, of course. The staples are sugar, salt, pepper. All right, get the best pepper and salt and sugar that you can get. All right, a lot of these things you can get on sale. And I'm sure you'll watch the clips that I've sent you guys. Right, you can go to the dollar store with $100 and get a lot of this stuff. All right, comfort, stress foods, cookies, hard candy, that kind of thing, kitchen items, manual can openers and flashlights and batteries and duct tape and compasses and zip ties, sanitation, toilet paper, um, feminine supplies. We tend to forget that because we tend to rely on the man to put together the bug out bag or the bug in bag. And men, we don't take into consideration that a woman may be on a menses. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Definitely need an all-purpose knife. Make sure you get some Pine Sol and some Clorox. And we have to be able to know how to treat drinking water. All right. Treatment, filtration, and systems that can clean water, aluminum foil, and plastic wrap. You definitely need that. This is another list that I'm going to send out to everybody. So all we're going to do is we're going to check these things off. All right. You can get them slow, get them one thing at a time. When you go shopping for food, sisters, I find myself at Kroger's and Publix and a couple of other places. I just get an extra can every time I go. This goes in the kitchen. This one goes downstairs for the pantry, for survival. All right. So I'm going to send this another list I'm going to send out to everyone. Let me move forward. When the shit hits the fan, we're going to put together a bug out bag. Bug in to bug out. All right. Some call it BOB. I call it, the one I developed is called the Black Pack. All right. A bug out or bug in bag is a portable kit that normally contains items one will require to survive for 72 hours, whether you're bugging in or bugging out. The one I created, I just simply called it the Black Pack, and I kind of put everything in it that you would need. All right. The first thing you should start off with is a good backpack, one that you can carry. It doesn't have to be expensive. All right. I kind of figure that the heavy duty, tactical, heavy duty range backpacks, because they're durable. All right. If you have to evacuate your home, you want to be able to snatch that and know that I can sleep under a bridge, or I can sleep in my car, or whatever. And it can hold all of the things that I need. If you're reading the list down here, everything that this black pack contains, 9 pockets, 3 liter water bladder compartment. It fits for what I need to do. It has a rubber bottom in case I got to set it down in water. All right. The next one that I have, one for me and then one that I throw in the car. All right, it's a little bit more durable, a little bit larger. All right, and sometimes you can get them with wheels. All right. Okay. Bugging in strategies. There's a book, a serious book that's out called Bugging In Gear Guide, where you can find a lot of this gear for cheap. At gun shows and other places. Bugging in without a place to go is a problem, family. Bugging out with no place to go is a problem. You have to have a destination. Where are you going? You need to know exactly where you're going, exactly how you're going to get there. All right? Bugging out with no place to go is a problem. Planning to live off the land without having done it before is not going to happen. You're not all of a sudden going to turn into fucking MacGyver. Is that his name? You're not all of a sudden going to turn into the wilderness dude. Who was the dude that got shot with the eel that killed him from Australia? What's the white dude name? Oh, go
Steve Irwin.
Huh?
Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin.
Right.
Why are you saying that?
So I'm just saying to you, just not going to automatically, because when the shit hit the fan, all of a sudden know how to survive in the wilderness. No. You at that point, you might want to hook up with somebody, one of them homeless dudes out there, because he know how to move. He's been out there for years. Right or wrong. He knows how to survive. Right? Anyway. Evacuating increases your risk of being attacked during an extreme crisis. Imagine all of this is going down at one time and you have to deal with inclement weather, people robbing you, and you out now having to evacuate, having to survive. I know I'm moving quick, but follow me now. Be wise and be prepared. Be ready to evacuate your home quickly with a pre-packed bag while gathering your emergency kit. Pack a go bag. It has to be to the point where it's in the front room by the door. Grab it, you're gone. Everything needs to be in there. All right. You're going to need a light source. You're going to need a light source. They have light source now with the solar thing on the top, where even if this one takes batteries, it still has solar. All right. You need to light up the tent, and you need your own personal flashlight. All right. These are the three that I have. Personal flashlight, one to light a large area, personal flashlight, and one on my head. All right. Everyday carry. They call it EDC. EDC. All right. Look at some of the things on this picture. Take a screenshot. You need the basic stuff. This is every day. Every day. I think I got a blanket in the car, and it's one. Right now I'm using my scarf in case I got to lay down on a park bench somewhere or something, but this is everyday carry. All right. A bag within a bag. That's normal for me. I could go in my suitcase right now and show y'all 1, 2, 3. I always do a bag within a bag within a bag. And then of course in here I got some medicine. I got medicine, teas. I got a mask. I got some other stuff. And this is just me out on the road working in a different environment. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I have access to something I can protect myself with. And of course, yeah, so just a bag within a bag. That's the concept of this slide right here. Pack your bag and put the bag within a bag. So when you go reach in your bag, you're not taking everything out to get to what you need. You follow what I'm saying? They got these new backpacks out now. Well, they're probably not new, where the inside of the backpack is lime green or orange. So when you look in it and you're looking for a black bag, you can actually see it. You follow what I'm saying? I don't know if that went by everyone, but anyway.
Very nice.
Okay. Family preparedness packages. All right. They have them. Family emergency kits. They have them. You can buy them already prepared, family. All right. Miss Muhammad, you getting this? Okay. You can buy them already prepared. It depends on how many people in the home. How many people you have to care for and move. You have to move children, pets, one for the car. All right. Make sure you'll take a screenshot of that. All right. Now, they do have healthier items when it comes to the food. You can go and search for that pack. I'm not sure if there's a vegan bug out pack of food that you can buy, but you've got to prepare it yourself. All right. Okay. Your clothing. You're not trying to pack a bag like you're going to Dubai. You're not going to Playa del Carmen. You're not hanging out in. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pack some clothes that are durable. You got to get you some boots that you done broke in, that you can wear, that you can walk through some water, that you can lace up. You understand what I'm saying? Some gloves, some headgear, that you can move in. All right? Here is the rule. I need y'all to remember this rule. 2 is 1, 1 is none. 2 is 1, 1 is none. I got a backup knife? Yes. A backup first aid kit? Yes. All right. Backup ammunition, backup firearm? Yes. Okay. If you haven't looked at some of the clips that I've sent out, a lot of this information is there. You already have it. All right. Prepare now, survive later. A common sense guide to prepare for an uncertain future. All right. Now, this is what mine's kind of look like. When you say, Professor Griff, why a shovel? If you're bugging out and you're out there and you have to use the restroom, you're not gonna, you don't use the bathroom where you eat. You understand? You want to go and you want to dig a small little hole, bury that, cover that up with dirt and leaves. You follow what I'm saying? You have to have utensils that you can clean off so you don't get infected by anything. You have to have some duct tape, a couple of knives, a couple of flashlights, all right, blanket, parachute cord, food that you can survive with, sternos. You have to be able to heat the food up. A whistle. You have to be able to kind of have a light source and a source to warm the cans up. So you have to have matches and or lighters. All right. All of this in a bag. If you're one of them kind of squeamish kind of individuals, of course, you have to have some bug spray and some other stuff. It's not like you off limits because you bugging out. Bugs don't know that. For real. All right. Some of these may look excessive, but I'm showing you all of this simply because you can kind of pick and choose what you want in your bag. All right. If you don't want the small lighters, fine. You get one of the big ones right here. If you want a multi-purpose tool right here, cool. All right. If you're traveling with someone and you and that person are not going to get separated, have that person carry some other items that you don't have, and y'all bug out together. All right. They may carry this stuff. You may carry some other stuff. All right. We're going to meet in back of the church, yada, 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 whoopie, whoopie, whoop in the parking lot. All right. We're going to secure our cars. All right. In a circle. We're going to operate in the middle of the circle. That's where we're going to protect the children. Yada, we got to come up with the plan, fam. All right. This is more extensive. I know you're saying, damn, Griff, that ain't yours, is it? Absolutely not. If I can help it, I'm not taking the chicken and the pork and the roast beef and the whatever. But nowadays, it's easy to pack this stuff in one backpack. They got a folding stove. You understand what I'm saying? They got utensils. They got two-way radios, and they got ways to communicate. They got pots you could cook the food in. All right? I'm almost done, fam. We can open up to have a discussion. All right? There needs to be a firearm associated with every bug in and bug out bag. All right? Every bug in and bug out bag, you need to have a firearm and know how to use it. All right. That's the same list. Don't need to go over that. Here's a very simplified one. All right? Very simple. If you have to go the simple route. Start out simple, build your way up, build yourself up to the backpack, the black pack that you want to carry. All right. If you have a dog that you're attached to, and some of us are attached to our animals because they let us know when dangers are coming, they'll protect you. Have one for them. They got one you can strap on the dog. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but yeah, you still got to feed the dog. I already sent you guys the ultimate survival kit checklist. I think I sent that out. If I didn't, I'll send it out in the next email I send out. I found this one at Costco's. They have a road kit that you could put in the car that you would just keep in the car. It has 42 pieces. Where if you break down, you need gas, you need whatever. All right. All right. They have sleeping bags and blankets that will fit in your pocket. Trust me, they do, fam. I've been to some of these conventions. All right. Find you a secure place, a place where you can kind of see what's coming. Especially if you're with some other people. It's best to sleep in a circle so everyone can watch the different angles, that kind of thing, so you can survive. Whatever snacks that you like, whatever you think is going to get you through. All right. These are some of the things that you should put in your backpack. Now, if you can throw this in the back of your trunk or your vehicle, by all means, be my guest. All right. The thing is to survive. Personal security, personal fitness, self-defense training, self-defense and weaponry. I can't stress that enough. All right. Get you a very, very good pair of gloves, because you will be handling and touching things that you never thought you would be handling. Trust me. All right. Get you a very secure knife. This happens to be one of the ones I have that I carry. Of course, I have one that folds out, and I have a multi-tool one that I carry, but I want a fixed one because I don't want it breaking. I don't want it folding in and collapsing on me. You understand? When I go to work. All right. You might want to screenshot that one. That one's a very good one also. All right. If you Jazzy and your granddad's still living, he probably has this one. He's chopping down trees with that joint. I'm just saying. You got to cut down some small little pieces of branches in order to make a fire. All right. Firearms. This is similar to the one I carry. Mine's a Glock 19. I'm comfortable with that. It's the right size. I have about 5 magazines that I'm putting in different places, in different bags. I'm already carrying 3 on me. So I got 100 rounds on me that I'm going to defend myself with. Then I got a few hundred more in the backpack and in my car. All right? Family, listen to me. This is the secondary weapon. Remember, we the gray man. No one knows we have a weapon. This is the secondary weapon. All right? The first weapon is going to be your rifle. All right? If you're in close quarter combat, then of course it's the reverse. All right? Your sidearm, your pistol, your handgun is going to be your primary weapon at that point. If you're in a home and you're bugging in and someone's coming in, if you have a short barrel shotgun, that's going to be your primary weapon. All right? Now, sisters, listen to me. You're not the one that's going to grab the shotgun and rack it in and blah, 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 blah. No, that's just a lot for you to do. So I would suggest, if you don't have a shotgun, to make sure you purchase a semi-automatic shotgun. It's a semi-automatic shotgun where you put the mag in, rack it once, and you get 9, 10 shots out of it. That'll get them up off you. And you could take down multiple attackers at one time. All right. If you're trying to get your John Wick on, by all means, get the Remington 870 Express Tactical 14 12 gauge shotgun. By all means. This is your go-to. Your AR-15 is your go-to. Or, pardon me, your shotgun is your go-to, but it needs to be semi-automatic because you're not racking one after every shot. All right? Criminals know that. Boom, you got a racket, that's when they coming at you. But if you boom, 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 you got 4 or 5 of them jokers up off you. You understand? With a few left. While you're making your way to the bathroom. You follow? Or the bedroom. All right? So these are some semi-automatic shotguns and some shotguns you got to rack. All right? 5 primary weapons you should have. Please write this down. Got to have a shotgun. You have to have a rifle. AR-15, AK-47, no matter. You have to have a handgun, semi-automatic handgun. You have to have a revolver. Those are the primary 4. Now the 5th one, we can fluctuate. Whatever that 5th one is going to be. My 5th one just so happens to be an AR-15 style fold-out weapon that I keep in my backpack. So my Glock mags go in that. So I can use the same mag. That's just me. All right. Now, am I leaving that for the enemy to use against me? Nope. I'm taking it apart if I got to leave it behind, and you figure it out. Let's go. All right. You got to have a revolver. Right? You're following me? You got to have a semi-automatic handgun. You got to have a shotgun. All right? Got to have AR-15. Whatever the other one is, that's on you. Last but not least, how are we going to get there? How we're bugging out? If your ass got a raggedy ass Yugo, remember the Yugo cars? If you got a, let me stop. If you have a Toyota or a Honda, you understand, regardless of what year, you good. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a Tesla, yeah, I'm looking at you side-eyed. Where you gonna recharge that joint and there's no electricity? Come on, fam. Let's be smart about this. You understand what I'm saying? Get you the vehicle that you know you can bug out in. Me, I got the rack on the back of the car. I'm throwing my damn bike on the back of the car. I'm getting in the car with the fam or have them get in the truck that we have. Y'all follow me? Let's go. This is how I'm moving. Once I get them in a safe place, this is how I'm moving. I ain't got to worry about traffic jams or nothing. The beautiful thing about this, I got a secure helmet. I got everything I need on the back, plus my backpack is on me, and I can maneuver. Get you a bike. All right? Now, if you fly and you rich, like some of y'all I see on here right now, and y'all got guap, and y'all just hit the lottery, come see your brother, Professor Griff, because I need one of these. All right? Where you can bug out and set up a tent right over your vehicle, where you can sleep in the vehicle or sleep in the tent, or put your family in the tent and you sleep in the vehicle keeping watch, you and the dog. And then you get on the bike and go wherever you got to go and come back to make sure your family is secure. All right? But most of us are not rolling like that. Most of us are not rolling like this. These are $100,000 vehicles. Who are you, Elon Musty? You understand what I'm saying? The black version of Elon Musk. I mean, come on, man. I'm just saying. These are $100,000 vehicles. Roll however you can roll. If you can afford one of these, please call me. My number is 678-557-2919. Let's talk. All right? Anyway, Bug out in whatever vehicle you could bug out in. All right. Last but not least, there's some black preppers that are out there. Please look them up. All right. They give classes just like this, in person and online. All right. I'm not saying your pantry should look like this, but this is a good start. All right. Black prepping and survival skills coaching. Look these people up on Facebook. Black prepping and survival skills coaching. All right. Last but not least, and this is for Charlie, we need to get into the survival medicine handbook. How are we going to bug out? And we need medicine to survive. I've searched online. I haven't really found anyone that's given me that IFAC or that first aid kit with the stuff that black people need. You follow what I'm saying? Okay.
Track. Gratitude.
All right. I got you, Charlie. All right, family. Let's everyone take a deep breath because I know that was a lot. I know it was a lot. Take a deep breath. A few minutes if you want to go run to the bathroom and check on grandma, feed the dog, whatever you have to do. All right. If not, any questions at all? Any questions?
Nope, all the information. No question.
Angel
It
Love,
was a lot.
you got a question. I see you got a question on your mind. I see it.
Yeah, I came in a little late, so I was just wondering if what's in the chat box, everything that was emailed to us, or if I needed to be going through the chat box, getting the downloads from there.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out another email to make sure the Survival Bible is in there and a couple of other links that I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
Like I said at the outstart of this, I want to change the way these classes are being done simply because you should already have the information. This right here is just to kind of go over it so we can go through some of the stuff. So then when we get off of here, go back to the emails that I sent out, be like, okay, he talked about that. He dealt with that. I got you, and start formulating your list.
Right.
Follow what I'm saying? And build your bug out bag, your backpack, slowly but surely. All right. LJT, you had a question, bro?
Yeah, what's going on, Griff? I really appreciate this opportunity.
All right.
Yeah. Quick question. So, when the grid goes down, what's your recommendation in regards to communication devices? You know, we can't use our cell phones. You know what I mean? What's out there right now? And I'm seeing a lot of stuff coming through, Facebook feeds on alternative communication devices. What do you recommend?
They got handheld radios and they got satellite radios that are out there. Some of these you have to get a license for. What I would do if we can afford it, they're about $25 to $50 a piece.